you know, a separate time, right? Because here, you're here, not here, but really you have to be here. So there's a process, the order of things is extremely important. Guys touched on it earlier, Sarah said this, the order of things is quite important. So, you know, the door has to close one initiative. So you're moving and you're making progress, you're advancing. You need to know that. I'm going to say that again. You're making progress, you're advancing, you're moving. But what you're feeling in your heart is it's not fast enough. Yeah? And so, but you're doing quite well and it's beautiful. So I'm going to take congratulations that you are making it. Yeah.
So I also got that there was some fear and also that during your journey trying to get being led. I also got that there was fear and during your journey.
I'm trying to turn up the volume because they can't hear us.
Trying to lead instead of being led. And so that was kind of my
She's saying that she can't hear us.
So can I read to you here a couple please? Love to you though. You're so beautiful together. You're like a rainbow over them, don't they? That connects them. I think you've probably seen that, Eden. So I know that there's been some difficulties, yeah? But yeah, that's okay. I mean, you're moving over them. That rainbow's helping you, and you're climbing over that rainbow. That has been intentionally placed above you. You're ascending it, okay? And there is part of gold that goes in. There's some things that you can do. You're wondering what you can do, like near term, like very, very quickly to make some changes and to improve things. And one of there's a few, but probably the most important one right now. Well, besides the two being together, because you're a unit, you know, is nutrition. I need you both to take a look at your and improve on that. And certainly, please don't put it on cognac because I'm not. I just want to put that out there that that is the first peg, yes. That's where you have to start. And I know that you've kind of been around. You're looping on where to begin, aren't you? Yeah. So that is the answer, and the answer is nutrition. And because the what's it, the Harrow on this one? I'm not good for Harrow, I have to be honest. It's required because of some of the medications that you're taking, which are, you know, they're causing some issues. So, in that they're just exacerbating the situation. So, let's boil down on the nutrition. Let's take a look at that, okay? Because then some of the things that you're taking, what I see is like a, you know, the pill separator, you know, the kind of separate. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So, I see a lot of those going away almost immediately, like 6 of them, very quickly. But some of them you take a while, but you know, by August of the year of this year. So, but nutrition is quite important, and then you want like the sensory as well. Just apologize for that. And there's some. Then you start feeling better, and then some exercise, please. And then we can eliminate, so we can help you eliminate some of those medications, because that is causing some problems. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. So nutrition, and I'll follow you around, make sure you eat. I think, no, I'm just kidding. Please do. Okay. Thank you for the invitation. feel like I just assert myself there. So that will help you, dear. You're not, you're so full of vigor and life and energy. Both of you are. You so many things to do yet. And so I don't want you to give up because I know you felt like it. Don't do that. You have so many things to do, spiritually and otherwise. And so many people that care about you really care about you. So, you know, I'll sort off. I'll get you. Sorry, I put you on the spot. Okay, but start there, please. Mm-hmm. Bless both of you. We love you. Bless you. I did sort off, didn't I?
I have one. How can I know that a spirit that are trying to interact with me are good or bad?
I personally use my intuition and feeling. I'm very empathic. Even sometimes they come in disguises, because not all spirits that come to you are good or bad, but it's almost like a sense, a feeling, a good feeling or a bad feeling. If a spirit comes to you and you get headache or nauseous, even if their disguise is good, that's a red flag. And we do have good and bad, and it's a learning process, but you have to learn to trust yourself. Your own self knows. That's how I do it personally. I don't know how Sylvia, but how just they do it.
Absolutely. I agree with what she says. When you are in the vibration of an actual spirit, that's the one thing you'll pay attention to is how it feels to you. Do you feel a negativity or a positivity coming from it? That in its own, if you leave that alone will confuse you. Only because there are times there are spirits who don't mean you harm. It would simply be a dead person who's stuck in their death state. And whenever they get near you or into your energy field, you begin to feel what they were going through in that particular state. At this time, this is when you're going to pay attention to the vibration. When you have an earthbound spirit or a negative entity who comes into your energy field, they vibrate slower. So you'll feel almost like a chill, a cold chill that you'll actually walk through. This is an earthbound spirit or a negative spirit that you will feel. Usually when you feel a negative spirit coming, they will almost engulf you and you will feel a pressure kind of coming around you. And it's because they vibrate slower, so you feel them almost like a cold blanket. When you have a positive spirit coming to you, it'll be a lot lighter, almost like a tingling sensation, a little warm whenever they come into your presence. And so this is how you can tell the difference between, say, an angel guide or even a spirit that's crossed over into the light who's come back to communicate with you. It's a higher vibrational, so a warm, tingling sensation. The other is going to be a cold, damp feeling that you'll kind of get, especially if you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach. I tell everyone to pay attention to your intuition. Your intuition, when it warns you, gives you what you call the butterfly feelings that actually come up. That is not a physical faculty, that is a spiritual faculty. There's nothing in your body that can actually move up like a butterfly. Everything in there is attached. So that's a spiritual reaction to danger. I hope that helps.
It does.
Okay, perfect.
There's another thing that you can try that came to mind is working with your guides on this. So I'm gonna relate this to food because I love food. So like maybe you could tell your guides, okay, if you feel like there's a spirit near that possibly means you no good, they can send you a signal of like a food that you don't like, anchovies. Maybe that's something that you could see or maybe taste. And then maybe if there's a smell, if there's a spirit that possibly needs help, they can send you like strawberries. And then maybe if it's like a good spirit, then they can send you like pizza or something. Just something that will like relate to you, and it'll be like something random. So even if you don't know that you're walking into something, just get this random thought or taste and you'll know to be aware.
And keeping your vibration up will not per se repel them, but it makes them think twice because they don't want that higher. They want that lower to feed off you. They can't feed off the higher. So like if you sense something and it scares you, you kind of need to stop, regroup, because that fear is feeding them. So then you got to think, okay, love, light, and peace. I am okay. We put protection on daily, sometimes a few times a day. And you have to believe it. Believe you're all protected. Believe they can't touch you with every fiber, every cell. And we always say, I ask or I say, so it is. But I mean, it's the believing part and the truly believing. And I'm hearing protection. So this has been what kind of protection? I personally, every morning when I get up, I ask Archangel Michael to place a golden armor bubble of protection around my trailer. Please fill it with light, love, and peace, and a sparkly rainbow. I do the same thing for my fur babies, and then to me. And then sometimes when I can feel something knocking at the door, they say, you do you first. Because without me, then I can't protect others. But I place a golden armored bubble of protection around me. And when I do it, I thank them. And I believe it that I am protected. And so it is. And sometimes I just start crying when I do that because I feel that love. I feel that protection. But then I always have Sylvia around me too, so for extra protection.
Scary.
She's not scary. She dresses me.
I have a question. I feel like I've been traveling this journey pretty well, actually, bumps and waves. What would be my next best course? I feel like I have all these different directions I could go right now.
Pick one and stay on it. It's your path. Everyone's path is the same, but different. But you can't, because then you're going to go nowhere. So pick one, concentrate on that. If that doesn't resonate with you, because I think maybe I need to be doing this one, if it doesn't resonate with you, pick another one. But pick one and not 10. I do that. And I'm like, whoa, okay, let's come back and ground.
Are you thinking about making a move? Yes. And yes, you should. So that is, yes, you should. And what I see with it is what's with it is it's green. I see rolling hills and trees. Do you understand that?
Yes.
No sense to you.
Yes.
So you know that's that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's get in your car and get there. That is what is next. Well, I get the feeling like I'm hearing that that's
The
what it
card
reminds me of. But
on Messenger.
did you have an aunt with you
It's on,
this past?
it's
Did you know
either-
that?
it's on partnership.
Yes, you.
It's on our chat on Messenger.
But sorry, I'm jumping off the topic.
That's okay.
But yes, that's what it is, yeah. So make a move. You're welcome, dear. Bless you.
The moment you asked your question, Kate, my right hand began to itch extremely bad. Whenever I feel that on the right hand side, this is the action side. So this is a few things that you've actually had right in the palm of your hand that you're ready to begin on, and you haven't taken the action to actually step into it. This shows me that you are actually going to be, you've already done the back work for it so far as thinking about it, deciding on how you're gonna, what you're gonna do. Now your next step is to simply move into it. When you move into it, you will actually begin to know immediately if this is the one that's going to be this big boom for you, or is this one that's going to take a little bit of work before it opens up and expands. Your guide is saying, we've given her a confirmation several times over. It is up to her at this particular moment to move forward and to try these different angles or areas out for herself. He says, your highest good is always the intention that we place for you. So simply allow everything to begin to unfold for you. Go with the one that gives you the most excitement.
Follow your passion. And a lot of us just recently, in the past month, have finally are starting to take that leap of faith. And I tell you, take that leap of faith, it will be the best thing you've ever done. It's scary. They tried to have me take that leap a year ago, and I finally did. And it was such an overwhelming feeling of relief, joy, love, almost every good vibration at one time. None of these that I thought I would have. And I had those until I took that leap. And like they were saying, there is a reward when you take that leap. When they tell you take that leap, we always question it. You know, because we're in the visible world, but they are not. They don't sleep either.
That's fair that we don't, it's true. Neither do you, because I bug you, but
Thank you.
So I actually saw like a journal with like a line that would represent your path right now, and then it branching out into all of the many different options that you're wanting to do. So I think that is something that you could get down like from your head onto paper to kind of help you decide what you want to start first. And I also have like a feeling that some of the options that you have in your head, there's actually other options to that too that you aren't aware of. And once you start jotting these things down, like other things will start to come out to you as well.
And I saw the branch, a limb with the branches out.
Roxy is wondering what's the next big move on her timeline.
she used to move home.
She used to move back to Colorado. We could tell her that.
Pack.
Red hair and move back to Colorado.
Hello, Roxy. Lovely, Tasha. Can I come to you, dear? I have to come to you. You've got this big shining light above you. And I know she's trying to hide, actually, but it just doesn't work because of the colors in your aura and just everything you've got around you. Your energy is just so beautiful, dear. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's larger than the last time I saw you, which is quite lovely. I just love that. And so you are in some way, well, no, not in some ways, let me be specific. You've got a fork in the road, don't you? You're at a fork in the road. You've got decisions to make about a few things. I'm hearing three things that are going to come to you. There'll be three things that are going to come to you. So you're going to be a fork in the road. That will be in April, starting on 13 April. And of course, you'll make the right decision because you're beautiful, lovely, and smart, and all of those wonderful things. I see a lot of celebrations this year with you. A lot of things that you've been working on will release and happen and come to fruition. And congratulations. I just want to say, I want to be the first to say congratulations, dear. It's so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here.
Well, thank you. Bless you, dear. So the dates are 13 April. What time, please? 16 July, and I need the third date, please. 12 November. Very, 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 very important dates. It's celebratory. Mhm. Good.
All right, I have a card for Sharbra. Take a shot. Don't take 12, take one. Okay, maybe two. Move on.
You'll record afterwards. Do shots.
Shot,
Someone
shot,
does some
shot,
shots.
shot.
I have a quick reply for Roxy. She asked for the next event that's on her timeline. That is March the 28th. It is a huge decision that she's going to have to make. And this is something who's actually going to propel her deeper into a career. This is a career move that's going to come up. That is March 28th.
Also got one word for her was stability. So that may be something that she needs to work on into that move for March.
Okay, I have a question. Yesterday, at the end, when Les was doing Reiki on me, I was like smelling something that nobody else smelled. And I checked all the oils out there and it was none of those. And right now my ears are ringing. So what is this? Is I making this up or is this? Really
No. Ringing, you're getting inputs. I call it angel language, maybe.
You have a new guide.
Is that what it is?
Yes, you have a new
Angel
guide that's
language.
trying to make their presence known.
Oh,
Yeah, so they usually do step outside of the norm and be a little dramatic so that you know that they're there.
because I'm hard-headed.
Yeah. I once had a guide that came in and she was a gorilla. And all of a sudden we were just chilling in the living room and we hear a big roar. And I was like, is that a helicopter? Was that? I was like, but it sounded really close, like just right in the kitchen. And she's like, oh yeah, it's me. So yeah, that's that.
Okay.
Me too. It could have been like yesterday at breakfast. We were sitting there, all of a sudden I started looking around. We was us in one booth and then people in front of us. I could smell someone behind me that smelled like pot. I mean, reeked of pot. And I started looking around and Pam says, yeah, there's someone here. I actually physically got up and looked at the next booth. And of course there was no one there. I forget, what is the Claire's for sense? What is that called? Clairsentience. Clairsentience is sometimes very strong. Like when you were talking about a bad spirit, I can smell them. They smell bad to me. Foul smelling. So that's when I kind of know, okay, I've got my protection on. Let's put a little bit of protection on. And let's protect everyone else. But yeah, that your clairs are coming in.
So standing behind you at this moment, Shelley, the new guide has both hands on your shoulder. He's wearing a blue garment, almost kind of looks like a robe. He's about 5'10". He has a very light blonde hair, almost white, but he's actually getting comfortable with your energy field at this particular moment. He says he is actually producing the scent because he wants you to know every time that he shows up, this is what he will be presenting to you.
Those dates that Sylvia gave you, Tasha, I heard stay cool, and I actually drew a fire. Stay cool, keep your vibration up. If anything happens, hum to yourself. La, 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 la. But they told me immediately stay cool.
I have a question. During the last circle, Yeshua told me that I need to get up every morning and start a dialogue and spend more time with him to get to know him. Every morning I get up. I know how to do it the religious way, but I'm trying to stay away from religion. How am I supposed to do it without the religion? It's a little confusing.
Why are you trying to do it without the religion?
I don't want to get stuck in a box.
I think it's as long as it's kind of like going in a circle in a loop and you don't know you're going in a loop. Religion, but once you're made aware of it, then you can still take those actions that you've been doing if that's what you're comfortable with. But now you're aware of the actions that you're making. So if that's what's comfortable to you to do it that way and it fits you, then you won't ever really be stuck because you're aware that you're actually doing it.
Okay.
You're making it your own. So it's not per se a religion. You're making it your own.
Right, because you at any point, it's not like you'll be stuck because at any point now that you know, you can change it. You can change different parts that you don't like or it doesn't really resonate with you and make it fit to how you want it to fit in your life.
So if you want to sit and pray, if that's what resonates with you, then pray. The power of prayer is tremendous. My mom, I come from a very heavy Catholic background. So I'm taboo right now. It's just what my family knows. But I've hid it my whole life. And when I say I came out, like you were gay, I said, no, I come out to my real self.
Right.
I've never been happier. But then I had to prepare myself almost for a backlash and kept people out of my life. And that was hard. But that negativity was so much worse than hiding myself. I went to Catholic school. Went to Sunday Mass every Sunday. And like my brother had my mom convinced that I was into devil worship and all this stuff. And I went last Christmas and my mother treated me different. It was one of the hardest things ever for me. This year I went, she sat down and asked me questions and they weren't judgmental. And I said, Mom, I work with angels. But she was ready to hear that after a year, because I've only been doing this for a little bit over a year. Sylvia dropped her refrigerator on me, but and said, hey, we're going. This is what you're going to do. That if that's what resonates with you and makes you feel good, just because you're programmed to think it's religion, it's still angels and spirit and that's how I try to explain to my mom. My path might be different than yours, but we're all different, but it's going to lead me to the same place, back to source, which is God, spirit, God, source, whatever you feel comfortable, Buddha, whatever you feel comfortable. It's not wrong if it resonates with you. If that helps you out, because you're struggling big time.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're also a beautiful writer. You're a beautiful writer. You want to write books?
Huh?
Did you want to write books?
I did.
Yes. Yeah. So not a did, it's a do. Mm-hmm. You will. Mm-hmm. And you will be very successful, dear. Wildly successful. The problem that you've had is you've not had the support from others, right? People go, oh yeah, I really want to write a book, right? Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. So you need to fold in, come back into yourself and use that talent. And starting tomorrow would be very good. Mm-hmm. I do. Yeah, yes, I do see a verb, right? Verb. I do see you being published. I see, I'm looking, bring those closer, please, so I can see those. You've got a series of some books that you want to write. I see 6 of them. And I do see them being published and starts because you're going to start them tomorrow.
And she'll bug you until you start them, trust me.
It's true. Well, I see you being published quite quickly, dear. The ideas that you've got are wonderful, and you scribe them, you write them down, you've got notes, you've got all these things. So it's time, dear, to put them together. You will be published. The first one it will be August this year. So you might want to start tomorrow. And also understanding something that we can influence mountains and move feet. So you need to all you have to do is put it out there that you're ready. Start holding back. And we can help bring and raise that publisher for you, or help you with that, or guide you to them. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, good. What you don't want to do, and I think what you thought with this before, which is fun, there's nothing wrong with this approach at all. I think you thought about a sort of a low budget approach where you would do it yourself. The publishing yourself, do you understand that? Okay, so that's not where it's going to go though, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not where it's going to go, because there's going to be so much interest in your topics and your books, and so you've got a pretty small window here to get things going. Yeah, don't misunderstand me. That doesn't mean that it's going to go away, because the canoe comes back around again, doesn't it?
Yes.
But let's go ahead and get going. You'll have a large celebration at Christmas. And there's other people that just don't believe in you. Well, that's just their problem and not yours. Mm-hmm. Your friends in high places, just tell them that.
What she just told you.
So bless you, dear, and congratulations. And
Thank you. No pressure. There's none. I already got it.
Just tomorrow.
Just tomorrow. No hurry, just tomorrow. Right. Like we would do our transmedia classes. We're gonna start with something simple. Just leave your body.
Okie dokie. I just don't like those being negative, they're in your way, Then you get out of the doorway. Doors open, come on in. Doors open, get out. But get out the doorway, because you're blocking it, not you. I'm referring to others. I'm not trying to be rude. Please don't think that I'm not. But yeah, you need to fold in, and you know what you can do, and you know what you're possible of. Let's go. Verb is the word.
But I also saw when you said
Beautiful.
that they're in the doorway, that there's also more than one entrance. So even if they're blocking one door, there's also another way to go around all of that. They're not blocking all doors.
And the card I pulled for her was Heaven's Door.
Which goes along with the process that we talked about in early November. There was a process that we shared with you, and I think this is what you were inquiring about. The process of fusion. This is allowing you to open up your heart chakra and to allow Yeshua's energy to enter you. When you go through this process, you can incorporate that into your normal routine. It is not our job to remove the routine that you have in place, but to give you one that you feel and understand a lot more. I will run through this process with you really fast. When you are prepared to accept that energy and to ask for that particular help, take just a few moments to bring your sense of awareness to your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is also known as Heaven's Door. When you go to the heart chakra and bring the awareness there, all you have to do is imagine, is simply ask for the energy of Yeshua to come down. The moment that you see the representation of our energy around you, send out the love from your heart chakra and you will receive it back tenfold. At that moment, you're in full connection. When you have that full connection, this is when you begin your process that you have in place already. We're asking you to allow the process to take place, but you don't have to be within a religious box. We are spiritual, we are not religious. So we ask that you open up your heart to let the energy flow and allow it to be your guide. Is this the process you were looking for?
Yes. Believe that you're worth it. You deserve it. We love you. And these are guides.
we've been programmed to think through religion that God is vengeful. God is judgmental. That's why he gave us free will. They're not judgmental. Your guide doesn't know what that is. You are worth it. And once you believe that you're worth it, get you some rose quartz.
Thank you.
Congratulations, yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question. I struggle sometimes to know where my place is and what I do. And religion was a big thing for me because I grew up Catholic in a Jesuit priest parish, the whole 9 yards. And I even shared my gift and they told me that we got to speak of such a thing. So it took 20 years before I opened myself up.
They taught with fear. And I see the robes and they taught you fear to keep you.
Your place in the world is with your gifts. You must understand that when you present your gifts to those who are not ready, the collective consciousness of humans will reject you. When that does happen, that relates back to the lesson that we taught earlier. This is what we call your challenge moment. At that moment, this is when you lean deeper into your gifts, you lean deeper into your faith of spirituality. Religion itself is unfortunately based on judgment and the placement of people. But you must also understand that many of those characters that you met in that particular time didn't have the understanding that you have. They didn't have the anointing that you have. So when we're looking at your current place is to develop those talents and to follow your desires to help other people, to allow yourself to open up. When we say allow yourself, that means that you transcend the emotions, thoughts, and feelings or vibration that they placed upon you, because those are not the vibrations that you were born with. Your vibrations have always been high, and this is why your gifts have been open and you've been allowed to use them. You must listen to that word, gift. Gift is something that is given to you by creation. When you were born with a talent or creation, it is your job to use that particular talent or gift to help you and to help others throughout your lifetime. The more you lean into that gift, the more that will be revealed to you. You have the gift of foresight. With the gift of foresight or vision, this allows you to look forward onto a current timeline. When you can look forward onto your current timeline, you can look at the manifestations or the creations that you have been working on to see if they're going to come to fruition in the way that you've been expecting them to. So when you are currently in this time and place and you're looking for your placement in this world, let's look at your current vibrational frequency. Where do you want your place to be? What is that passion and desire that you have? Are you currently matching your vibration to that passion or desire that you currently want? We don't have a solidified place for you only because we are guides. We are not your boss. We don't tell you where to fit in. You tell us what you want to do with your gift, and we will open up and move mountains to allow these things to happen for you. But it must happen by your own free will and choice. That means you must decide to move. If you choose to move or to take that action, we will actually open the doors and everything will move out of the way for you. You will still be presented with those challenges as the law of relativity is in place. Remember that when those challenges come up, that is confirmation that you're on the right path. That is confirmation that what you are wanting to manifest is happening for you. So instead of retreating in fear, take the time to use your gifts and to look forward onto your timeline. To look forward onto your timeline, we're going to share a technique with you. This is already one of your gifts, so you already possess it. So take the time to visualize and see yourself where you're currently standing. As you see yourself where you're currently standing, go ahead and see yourself going through life, going into the results that you would like. Look at the feelings. How does it feel? Does it feel comfortable? Does it feel like you finally found a place where you belong? Allow yourself to unfold and let your imagination to fill in, or your imagery center, fill in the blanks that you have. Every time that you do this, we ask that you simply take a notepad and write down what you have observed. Because the more you look at it, the more it will continue to change. The more actions that you take, the more thoughts, feelings, and emotions you put into it, the quicker it will change. Until eventually, you're simply visualizing and living within that reality where you have found your perfect place in this world. The more you, it is important that you yourself make the decision and follow the passion and desires that you have. Or we cannot do it for you. We must only guide you and be the guiding light that surrounds you. I hope that helps.
Taylor had a question. Taylor asked, I feel like I am in the middle of a spiritual awakening again, and my shit is getting rocked. My question is, when is this going to be over, and what do I need to do to help myself get through it?
I'm a little impatient.
This is for Taylor.
Oh, Taylor, my dear.
Dear, yes.
Taylor, my dear, we must understand that awakening is a process that is continuous. That means it's not going to stop. There is no actual destination because the destination is infinite. It continues to go. As you unfold and become something more, you will desire more. This is why you are a conscious creator who continuously creates, because you are going to continuously have the need to awaken and to unfold. Right now, if your shit is being rocked, as you say, take that as confirmation that you're in the places that you're supposed to be in, that you're in the state of mind that you're supposed to be in. You're asking yourself all the right questions. The answers will begin to flow in slowly but surely. It is a process. If you instantaneously knew everything, there would be no reason for you to be here on this human plane.
That's one of her lessons is patience. But one of the patience, the things that she needs is they're having her learn.
I also got that like this part that she's going through is like an upgrade. And so everything's gonna feel like it's not in your control, but instead of focusing on that, you could like find distractions, things that you like doing, and focusing on the positive aspect of those things and just let it naturally flow through.
And I drew a huge evergreen tree that was growing. So she's going through, of course, major growth, but she needs to have patience.
And Taylor, you're so beautiful, so smart, just so wonderful. You've had a bit of rocky road, but it's I mean, your shit is shaking. That part is true, but there's been a lot of improvements. Things have worked out the way they're supposed to. I know you probably tell you. In fact, I know you tell you that. But there's been health improvements, other things. So you are moving forward, yeah. You're definitely moving forward. You're squarely on your path. Also, sweetheart, you spend a lot of time worrying about things that you shouldn't worry about, that you don't need to worry about. So, and I've probably told you that before. You're so smart for your britches that you sometimes you overthink things. And if you let go of the reins just a little bit, I'm not saying completely because you wouldn't do that anyway. But just loosen them a little bit, and you'll see that you'll be pulled along, dear. Rather than trying to push and swim upstream, just loosen the hold on the reins just a bit, and let your guides bring you along. You've asked them to, and gosh, you've got about 20 of them. So everything will work out fine. It will be beautiful and much like you. And nothing to worry about, dear. Nothing to worry about. I know what you're worried about. Nothing to worry about, dear. So bless you. We love you. We miss you. Wish you were here. I know you're thinking virtually. I know, but I mean here. I heard you. But love you, dear.
I had a friend text me her question. Her name is Ariel. Just two-part question. The first one is are there any messages for her about her current job and client? How come I can only tune into my abilities when it surrounds my job? And are there any messages about her future pregnancy dates?
There'll be another opportunity that will come forward for her as far as the work goes in the career. That will come forward in June.
I had June 12th.
Yes. Gosh, you're so good.
I wrote down June. I'm usually not very good with dates. I usually stay away with that.
So there'll be forward movement there. So she's got us certainly forward to there, for sure. Absolutely. I think someone else got the answer for the other one. I can sort off, but
Asking about her future pregnancy dates. We need her to stop worrying about that. This is what's causing the delay. No worries. Stop putting so much pressure on it. Ask her to simply enjoy the unfolding of life. Enjoy the process of creating life. To allow it to take place. It is this year.
that means a baby shower, doesn't it?
It does.
It's lovely.
I have a question. On my way to this event today, to the workshop, as I got close to the building, I had this vision of somebody being famous. Like I got a vision of my family circle being like some kind of blow up, and we became like famous. And I don't know what for, but I didn't want to feel it as an arrogance because I don't think that's the way it came to me. But I was like, I remember saying that we're about to be somebody. I felt the word particularly famous come across my spirit, and I'm like, what do I need to be prepared for?
I was going to let someone else answer this question. Just because, of course, this vessel's probably biased. The actions and things that you are taking, the different things that you're doing at this very moment is starting to collect into a bank, or what we talk about as your vortex of creation in general. The fame that you see is actually going to happen all around you. There's so many people around you that are on a upward spiral of development, of bringing themselves to the highest states of the awareness possible for this time for them at this very moment. So there is going to be a lot of fame that's going to start to kind of circle around. You're going to start to hear the buzz. And of course, just as you being related to this vessel, just in general, it is going to be a group effort. One thing you have to understand is no one is going to make it alone. It's going to require support. It's going to require the support of friends and family. people who are on the same frequency, who allow the others to elevate to their highest levels. So it's not only that your family's going to be famous, it's going to be all of your friends too.
I'm your friend. Hi, friend.
So we're simply going to take you to a higher level, and what you are currently experiencing is the throes of that. As you notice that your family has to hit its all-time lows before it can rise into its all-time highs. So there are many things that have been wiped across the floor with you all. When these things do actually occur and begin to happen, when you face the challenge of relativity, this is what you're currently going through. It shows that you all are on the right path. Even though there are things that are distasteful that you all dislike that are happening, you're currently dealing with and facing these particular things. You're creating a better outcome and a much better future to come for you all. This is a story that will motivate many people. Not many people know your story. Your story is a part of absolutely everything that has ever made you. Your soul has chosen these particular things, these particular outcomes to bring you to a higher sense of awareness. So what do you need to be prepared for? Fame.
I keep hearing the song, Fame from Fame. Yep, I keep hearing that song.
I have another question. When is this virus thing gonna be over?
It's not. It will quiet down. But I don't see an end, you know. I mean, it's an ailment, it's an illness. I don't say ending, you know, kind of like a cold or something. There'll be highs and lows and peaks and valleys of it, but it's never going to actually be over. You know, there's not an end to it, but it will improve. I think it's probably a good use of language. It will improve, but there's just some time to go.
We can't give you a specific date about when it will be over. I'll need you to think about your history here on the human plane. Every virus that's ever existed has never faded away. The influenza virus, it is still here. It is still active. The only thing you are experiencing right now is the highlight or the spotlight being placed on the virus, and not in always the best ways. It is something that you can overcome. But so far as the date when it will end, we can't give you an end date. It's not something that will just disappear. We won't go back to what you all felt was normal before all of this. This is an adjustment, just like any other virus that's had a vaccine that goes with it. It will still be there. It just won't be in the spotlight.
Humans have, one of the things that are going for us in human form is we have the greatest ability, our bodies do, to adapt. Hot, cold. You look at a plant can't survive the tremendous different elements and weather changes and health changes as humans do. That is one of our greatest gifts is our adaptability. So we are going to learn to adapt to it.
And many species don't have that ability.
No, we're the only one. You know, like a lion. They don't like that. They're out of there. They're moving. Or it's like survival of the fittest. They're going to move on. Or they're going to die. We stay and adapt. So it's just something they've told me that we're going to adapt to.
I have another question about that goes with Mary's, the virus. Every time it's at a nice line, flat line, a different strain comes out.
They gotta scare us.
Right. And then a different vaccination comes out, and then a different strain comes out. Some of the strains affect people who are vaccinated. Some of the strains affect people who are not vaccinated. So is it just a thought I had, or is it, I mean.
So is it that it's actually at a straight line to begin with? or
Right
that
now?
Or that it was just never being highlighted at the moment? We only know what's being put out there on the news for us, so that strain could have already been out, but now you give them a break and then you highlight it again, so now it's new because everybody now knows, but the truth is, Corona has actually been here before, for a long time, but it was never highlighted to begin with until now, so.
And we all know it's real, sir, because there's a lot of people who don't believe it's even, we all know it's real. We all know people that have been affected. But that as Justin guys were saying, it's the media. And it's how much information they want to tell us or not tell us. Because it did calm down. And they kept saying because people were getting together for the holidays, it was going to take off. Guess what? It took off again. Big surprise there. And I went to California for Christmas. In Colorado, we have little blips of it on the news. California, it's the whole news hour. Every news program is all about Corona. And I got afraid to walk out my mom's door at first. I'm like, eh.
I have a question. Since I've been here, my ears have been ringing off and on. And I'm just wondering if somebody's trying to tell me something.
Do you know who that is, dear?
No.
I can give you his name. So the reason that it is a ringing is because they're working on ascension for you. So they're raising you up so that you can communicate and that you can hear them better. Does it make sense? So that's what that is. That's what the ringing is. Get your attention, of course. We're awfully good at that. But I can give you his name. His name is Thomas. And if you meditate, he'll come closer and you can bring him in. The ringing of the ears will, it will quiet down a bit. But it's energy and it's ascension, and that's exactly what it is. And it's intentional for you to say, why are my ears ringing? So then we can tell you. But that it's intentional. It happens 2 mediums. We all are, not me, but Pamela's, they all have it as well. It happens as well. It's usually either the sound of ringing or, the lotus, the whisper that they make. You hear that noise as well. But that's what it is. It's ascension. It's your guide trying to get closer to you, to communicate with you, and to let you know that he's there. And now you've got his name. You can do some meditation and some protection and communicate with him.
My ears ring all the time.
Yes.
And they used to ring. Didn't ring while I was working. I'd walk in the door, sit down, and it's like, really? But what Sylvia's taught me, to communicate with your guides, you have to raise your vibration, and they actually have to lower their vibration. And you kind of meet in this middle part sometimes. And then once you learn to start raising your vibration all the time, like a lot of times I say, I don't know if that thought was mine or not. It just comes like fluidly. But I was explaining yesterday, it's not something a weekend warrior thing you can do. It's something it's a lifestyle. You have to practice. It's like a muscle. And the more you practice, the stronger that muscle gets. The more you lift weights, the stronger you get. So the more you practice, the easier it gets. Because we've had people that, maybe once a month, once every other month. Why aren't I ascending? Well, what have you done since we saw you? Well, nothing. Well, that's kind of why. And it's not always rainbows and butterflies. It's tough. They knock us down in the dirt all the time. But we've got to learn, brush yourself off, pull up your good big girl panties and press on and raise that vibration. So you think, a lot of people think that it's easy for us. Oh no, we go through shit just like you guys. And it's, they knock us down all the time. But we're learning, okay, please may have another,
Are you also having dreams? You're getting dreams and you're getting, I know, you're getting messages in your sleep. Yeah, you're getting those. So that's part of it too. I mean, they're just, we're here. So I would start a journal on those. The messages right now, they don't always make sense. And they're not always for you. They're also for others. But I would definitely start writing those down, put a journal next to your bed. And the good news is, at least for me, I don't know if this happened to y'all, but when I start paying attention, okay, I hear you. Then I'll back off a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you initially asked the question, I felt like there's like a guy that has a feminine energy, and she was like, we've been trying to tell him things and he's not listening. And it kind of made me laugh because she's like really fed up and throwing her hands in the air and all of that. So I was asking like, well, what can he do to listen? And she's like, write it down. So I goes back to what Pam was saying and arguing those, just to jot it down and it'll make sense later on.
And it could be as simple as see the color blue. But by acknowledging that, they know that you hear them. And that's what they're trying to do, is just get an acknowledgement out that you're hearing them.
So I have a question. Yesterday afternoon, had a reading, they pulled 3 cards for me that really resonated. Just kind of curious if there's any other messages coming in associated with those 3 cards.
So I see like I want to say like a campfire or something, and like music, and someone, I'm not sure if it's you, is playing like a guitar and is just singing and having a good time around the campfire.
I saw a boat with a sail. Do you know what that represents, Justin?
Actually, it's showing me a path that's actually open for him at this moment. Yesterday during his reading, they gave him basically his past, present, and future, and how it leads up to something that he's been working on just in general. And it's almost like he's being asked to stay the course because it's this continuous confirmation to what you've been looking for. So the boat is the journey that he's on. So I have, there is one of my collective who keeps talking. He's pointing at Cindy. Cindy was not satisfied with the answer that she got. So we're going to go over that with you. You were asking again about the virus. So we're going to completely kind of avoid that and teach you something about your media. So the only way to trap a human is to trap them within their free will. So every time everything calms down, the only way that you can get control again is to trap them in their own free will, which is something called fear. they're really good at using that to manipulate and control you. So when it does flatline, chances are that you will get something new to fear. So just kind of understand this is what's going on. You don't have to panic. It is a free will choice for each and every one of you to panic. If you all stop panicking, the pandemic ends.
Thank you. There's another question that came to me. Her name is Autumn, and she wants to know if there are any messages for her, and she would like a sassy card.
I see pencils and crayons and streamers, which represent celebration of some sort. So she's working on something. She's working on something that she's trying to complete and will be successful. And that's the crayons, the streamers, but also the crayons represent have more fun, be more childlike, like coloring. She's taking things in life way too seriously. And she just needs to stop doing that because it's going to start to cause problems, anxiety and other things, and sleepless nights. So it's definitely a slow down, smell the roses. Don't worry, stay on your path. It will be okay. And I see a celebration. I see fireworks on a path. I see things. I feel really good. Huge, huge successes. I see cartwheels, like just huge successes.
I saw
So there's,
balloons and jelly beans.
so there's something she's got that is going to go really, really well. I didn't hear the other part. I wasn't here. I'm sorry. There was a second. One of Taylor's cards.
Yes.
Oh,
And she pulled it.
yeah, she pulled it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll wait. You want me to read it?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Oh, there you go.
Let you read it.
Okay.
Are we talking about Autumn's?
Yes.
Autumn's card, it says you equal tight ass. And then it says loosen the fuck up, control freaks don't get laid.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
And I have another.
Oh no.
And then Taylor, I would like a sassy card too. I usually do mine off camera. I'll take it. Ready for yours?
Yes. Sandra J asked, are there any messages about my current situation? My ears have also been ringing.
So we Sindra, Sindra J, hello Sindra J. You are so I'm gonna have to repeat. She's got someone with her, and it's Ascension. That's quite simple. But it's also, in addition to that, she's thinking about. I think she's thinking about taking a trip. And I'm getting confirmation that she should do that. That she should take that. That she needs to breathe better. I feel something here in her throat. She needs to breathe better, and just breathe better. Take a breath, sit down, relax, drink some tea, and feel well. She's got great things coming for her. But Sindra, you're blocking them because you're so concerned, dear. Now, what I would like you to do is just to take a breath and relax, and take the trip and things will start to come together. I also have a name for her that she needs to keep. And the name is James. She needs to keep that name. I don't think it's relevant right now, but it will be, and she will know what it is later. I also have a date for her. Actually, I have 2 dates for her. 13, can you get that to my time, please? 13 September and 3 October. Those are very important dates for her. So please write those down, dear, because those will be very good dates for you. I hope that helps you. She's so beautiful.
I immediately got an image when you asked the question. The image was of a lady who was actually stirring a pot at the very moment. And as they were talking about her throat chakra being blocked, this is a communication. That means that she's been stirring the confusion. That means she's beating the horse to death, long story short. So with that being said, they're asking that she simply take a break, as they were talking about with Sylvia there. Take a break in everything that she's actually doing and look at where she's currently at that moment, and then assess the situation from there and decide what she would like that outcome to be, and then move into it. I hope that helps.
I have a question. I'm entering an entirely new chapter of my life and just curious as to any messages or direction.
Great.
So lovely, as you asked that question, there was a book that opens before me. It is full of light. These pages in front of this particular book all throughout here are very blank, but they're all full of light. This is for you to actually fill in. On this new adventure, we're asking that you open up yourself and decide what is your true desires for this particular period in your lifetime. What is it that you would like for this to be? What would you like to get out of this? This basically means that we're allowing you to write this next chapter. There's nothing but light filled in these pages, so there's nothing to fear. So it's time that you move forward with your thoughts, feelings, and desires, and to make those things your current reality. We hope that helps.
Lots of celebrations. You'll be very successful. Lots of celebrations, yeah.
Is there any more messages for me?
Even with our eyes closed, there's energy going all around the room. The moment that you ask that question, the first word that comes into that center is faith. That is having faith that you can have something different. Faith that you can have the manifestation that you crave. Faith that you can become the person that you choose to be. We're asking you to have faith in yourself, to believe in yourself, believe in the portion of you that is a conscious creator. We ask that you go deep into yourself and to decide exactly what you choose to experience going forward. The past is the past. We leave it there, and then we learn to transmute the current situations or traumas that have been left here. The lessons there are very beneficial. They were necessary, and we ask that you now transmute any energy that does not serve your highest good into something that will serve you to your absolute highest purpose. The moment that you believe in your power and your gifts, your entire reality will change. We hope that helps.
Yeah, I saw hearts and then I heard self-love.
have a question about my path. Though I feel like I've been avoiding some things, literally running from things probably most of my life. I have decided, I sat down, I spoke with Spirit, and we talked about moving into the type of leadership position I'm supposed to be in. I have so much to offer people that, while it seems minute to me, it ends up being a big thing to someone else. So I feel kind of selfish about holding on to the gifts, but I'm also a little apprehensive. Like even now sitting here, I have all this energy that is just unsettled. I feel like it's bouncing off of all of my chakras. I'm trying to figure out how to calm it and settle it. I've been, I don't even know what the question really is. I feel like my superhuman power, I know that my superhuman power is emotion. I have very, very strong emotion to the point where I'm always asking the Spirit, like, you sure you picked the right one? Look, we like take some of that back, like give me something different. But ultimately he has settled that that's what I'm supposed to do. So I definitely need to know if I'm connecting with my guides, if they're, am I understanding them, or do they understand me? How to help me figure out how to compartmentalize all of this, because it gets to be too much. Like even now I feel overwhelmed with like all this crazy emotion, and like I feel it's coming out my ears. It's coming from everywhere. And I'm like, why am I so apprehensive? And I feel like it's because I keep resisting. But I don't know quite where to start because it's so much power. It's kind of hard to corral. So
Do you ground yourself?
Probably not near enough.
Ground yourself.
Not near enough.
Ground yourself, like I'm hearing that like the mindfulness, it really helps me ground because I bounce around a lot too. Before I, a lot of times before I deny things, I denied it. Do it. Reaction. Like the board says, action. And once you start that action, it'll calm down, but they're banging at your door. Yeah, they are. So it's going to get more intense until you start action. Just like they, they're going to keep talking and talking and talking and get louder and louder and louder until you say, take that action.
I feel myself opening up when I'm alone a lot more because it seems like I have I'm a clairaudient. So I'm starting to connect more things that I used to tune out. I'm like, wait a minute, what was that? So I started to hear more. I feel like they're starting to do more around me so that I will be aware. It's not as unnerving as it used to be. But I'm not sure that I'm always understanding.
But see, you said the key right there. You started to open up, so you started. So you're taking action.
Yeah, we're not getting enough energy. Ground.
You need to ground. Get grounding.
I have grounding. I don't know.
You got a crystal? Black tourmaline will work on do
You train me for
your master crystal wall is the clear quartz. If you're unsure of a crystal for anything, you can never go wrong with the clear quartz. Clear quartz works for everything, and it will help it will absorb some of that energy. That's why a lot of times you always see me with crystal in my pocket. Oh, I got a purse full of them. I got a backpack full of them. Okay, not that one. Not that one. And I've gotten to where now. Yeah, I know what each crystal is for, but okay, this crystal might be good for this. Nope. So I'll pick up one. Okay, yeah. Intuition, feeling, yeah. Ground yourself.
So I also got that not all of it needs to be grounded, but it needs to be used for the things that you're wanting. And they're going to continue to make you feel that way. It's kind of basically at this point forcing you, pushing you into taking the actions that you keep trying to step back from. So that's why it feels like it's everywhere, because you won't put it somewhere.
And you shouldn't be afraid.
Not have them talk
They
shit.
didn't give us, they weren't giving us much choice.
One's your brother, one's your daughter, so there should be no fear.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm like, and we're not gonna let you use the excuse, Michael wouldn't let you,
All right, Tasha,
because we
I
already
have-
talked to Michael.
I have Emily here. Emily says that she's the one who's giving you this energy. You have been continuously asking for things and you're not doing the conscious manifestations for it. So every time you ask for something, she sends you energy for it. If you take that energy and actually begin to manifest and to use it, it will actually formulate into your life. Until that time, you're going to continuously being overwhelmed because you continuously ask for things that you're not putting yourself into a vibrational match for. We need you to take that and to use the manifestation processes that you've learned to create on a consistent basis. You are a conscious creator, and so this happens on a continuous basis, and it does not stop. Even if you don't want to participate, it still does not stop. So when you take this energy, when you are feeling overwhelmed all of a sudden, we want you, instead of running from this, to take a hold of it. Most of the time, people like you who have that great emotion fear the power that's within that emotion. Instead of fearing it, take that and consciously create an outcome that you've been looking for. Right now, you need a tremendous amount of energy because you're asking for an abundant shift. So we're sending you an abundance amount of energy. With that being said, that means the moment that energy comes in, stop for a few minutes and focus just on one thing. Even if it's healing or loving another person, send that energy out into the universe so it can manifest and create for you. This is something that's going to happen on a continuous basis. This is why your emotions seems like they can be erratic from time to time. That is too much energy being built up that is being unused and focused. So we will continuously send you this energy because this has been your continuous request. You have been manifesting and creating these things. And so this is what is in your bank of your vortex. So at this particular moment, you're in the fruition stages of asking for this energy, of asking for this healing. So right now you are receiving. So graciously receive and become a vibrational match for what it is that you would like to manifest or create in this lifetime.
I also got that to use the fear and the kind of negative emotions to your advantage because you are emotional, to take that fear and transmute it into something that you're wanting. So like the trade-off of it, because you have to fill the vortex and take that energy, because usually fear is like something that you feel that's really big, because then you don't even feel like your other positive emotion because it's just something that's big on your plate. So take that, transmute it into the actual thing that you want and send it out.
Because you can feel the energy bouncing off of you, even like last night. I was like, whoa, 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 I need to sleep tonight. I'm putting the wall up right. Bang, 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 bang. Ooh. I'm gonna put, and I even pushed my seat back. She was across the table. I pushed my seat back. I put this wall up. She can play handball against this wall. That's just.
Okay.
So guys, we'll go ahead and take our final question. Go ahead and wrap it up. I have some guides standing behind you going like this, so apparently that means that my time period is coming close.
I have a quick question. During Les's session, the name Michael kept on like coming to me. Like I knew everyone who I was with. And but the name Michael was, and it's still like sitting right there in my head. So who's Michael? Anyone?
She'll tell you all that.
Oh, really?
Yes, I just keep hearing you've been chosen. Welcome to the program. So Archangel Michael. So
Archangel Michael.
We'll be working with him a lot in the near future.
So get ready.
Because he made me like, oh my God, like, I woke up really hot.
He is on you.
Yeah, Michael is basically the one who's in charge of most healers who join the light team. As you are anointed to Reiki, when we put that master symbol inside of your crown, that means that you're now marked by him. So now you're one of his students, so to speak. Let's call you a student. soldier, however you want to put it, just in
I
general.
like student better than.
So as the things do happen, you're going to go through training with Michael. Michael happens to not have a great sense of humor. Just FYI.
No.
Not that he's mean. He's just
Very direct,
very,
very,
no kidding.
very blunt.
He's mean.
It borderlines on being blunt,
Don't
mean.
let them fool you.
He's never been mean to me, just direct and.
He bullies me all the time.
And now
She'll say
you guys are
something, I
telling me
can't do
about,
this,
like,
we're like,
I
what?
don't hear
Michael
stuff,
says I can't do
He's
it.
not right here anymore.
Yeah, he just wanted you to know.
Yeah.
That's all.
He will be whooping your ass, just get ready.
He's tough. He's tough.
Only for a period.
Sometimes I need an ass whooping.
But you
Yeah.
can also bully him. So Michael told me he has like an eye in the back of his head. So I'm like, well, Michael, how do you not get hair in it? Like, do you just park the hair in the back around the
You
eye?
messing with
or-
Michael?
But he doesn't entertain me, so.
She asked him if he wears shoes and he has toes.
I was like, Michael, are you wearing shoes? And he's like, I don't wear shoes. I'm like, so your toes are out?
I love that. Because they, per se, kind of when you see them, it's not like they walk or they float. They move, but what's underneath that roof, you know?
This is our way of actually talking and communicating with your guides. Too many people are afraid of them and feel like they're authoritative figures. They are truly guides and they will become just like your best friends over time. When that does happen, you can learn to trust them with absolutely anything. This is the one thing they've already signed up for. There's nothing that you're going to do that's going to surprise them because they already read everything your soul's decided to do. So they know what you're going to do. They helped you make the decisions. So they're going to be with you. So the good, bad, and truly ugly, your guides are like, let's do it. So when they say, okay, allow us to work with you, what they're simply saying is, hey, you need a buddy, a friend? Come on, let's go.
And they're not all like, whoa, like when we go clear houses, we wear animal onesies. It makes us laugh, it makes us smile, and that's our best protection when we're clearing demons out of houses. Our guides love it. We thought that Sylvia might, we're like, oh, what did I do? But she loves it that we wear it. You'll see a lot of times when we do lives, we'll have animal onesies on. It's not always, that's what we wanted to separate ourselves. We want to be light. We want to be fun. It is fun, you know? So yeah, we'll wear animal onesies or we'll wear reindeer ears or, you know, stuff like that.
Thank you.
A smile and laughter, that'll say laughter is the best medicine. That ain't no lie. We can make you laugh and make you smile, then we've done our job.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for being here today, for coming through and actually participating in this workshop. We really appreciate your attention, your awareness, and we are honored to actually be able to teach you guys, to offer you something that helps to elevate your soul. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. You can find us on the Partnership of Living Spiritual Guides, Living Enhanced Holistic, for our next live video.